Good afternoon. This is Montesano Municipal Court. I am Judge Valentine. I'm going to be covering our docket today. I'm going to go through and call our cases. I know that some people have had cases that have come up before the court before. If that is the situation in your case and you have information that the court was waiting to get, please let me know when you come up to the podium so we can make sure that we take care of whatever needs to be taken care of on your case today. First case, we have City of Montesano versus Michael Adams, 2A0053966. Is Michael Adams here today?
There's no one in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Thank you. Right, that matter will be reset by the clerk. City versus Terrence Albert, 2A0053965. Mr. Albert? Good afternoon, Mr. Albert.
Afternoon.
So I've been handed some paperwork that you filled out. It looks like you went over the arraignment form.
Yeah.
And you understand the charge against you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You filled out on this form that you understand that you do have rights that are outlined on that form, including the right to have an attorney and the right to have the court-appointed attorney for you if you cannot afford one, your right of time for trial, your right for a jury trial, your right to have witnesses called in question, your right to an appeal if you were found guilty. Did you review and understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've indicated that you're going to be entering a plea of not guilty and that you would like the court to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Albert, I do find that you are eligible for a court-appointed attorney. I'm going to appoint Mr. Duncanson to represent you. We're going to set your case on for a pre-trial when Mr. Duncanson is able to be here, and that's going to be on April 26th.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to need to stop with the table where you checked in to get that paperwork before you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. City of Montesano versus Noah Brewer, 2A0158473. Is Noah Brewer present?
No response, Your Honor.
All right, clerk can go ahead and send another notice on that matter. City of Montesano versus Teresa Deracunis.
Hi, Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Deracunis. Okay, it looks like we've got two cases here, 2A0053959, which is driving while license suspended in the third degree. And I also have 2A0053957, which is a speeding ticket. So is that your understanding of what we're dealing with today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Ms. Deracunis, I did receive the arraignment form that you got from the clerk, and you gave it back to them. You filled out all the information here. You indicated that you would like to plead guilty.
Yes, ma'am. I know what I did was wrong and I didn't realize.
Hang on 1 second. So, Ms. Derakunis, that form also contained an advisement of your rights, including your right to have an attorney and your right to have a trial, your right to have a timely trial, your right to call and question witnesses, and you have the right to remain silent on these charges as well. So I appreciate that you're here to take care of things quickly and efficiently, but I did want to go over with you. You've provided a waiver of counsel, and I've looked over that, and you also provided a statement of defendant on plea of guilty. And there are a couple things within the statement of defendant on plea of guilty that you filled out that don't quite meet the legal standard that we need for entering the plea of guilty.
Okay.
And I understand from looking at your waiver of counsel that you're not trained in the law, you're not an attorney, and I understand that. If you'd like, you can fill out the request to get a court-appointed attorney, and we could get an attorney that would be able to help you do the paperwork.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I know you didn't fill out that form because you're planning to represent yourself. And you have a right to have privacy in your financial information. I know that these are streamed proceedings. Are you eligible for any public assistance? Do you receive any public assistance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I'm going to appoint our attorney, Mr. Duncanson, to represent you. We're going to get you his information, and we're going to set this matter over to April 26th. All right?
Yeah.
So you can get a hold of him, and you can talk with him about how you want to proceed in the case. For now, we'll just put these files or these documents that you submitted in the file, but we're not going to take any action until you and Mr. Duncanson have a chance to talk.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And we'll set the infraction over as well.
Appreciate it. Have a good day.
All right, City of Montesano versus Alan Edgar, 2A00526662 and 663. Is Alan Edgar here?
No response, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, both matters will be reset with a new notice to be sent by the clerk. City of Montesano versus Julio Gonzalez, 2A005390. Is Mr. Gonzalez present?
No in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, clerk, to send a new notice on that matter. City of Montesano versus Harold Haney, 1A03780004 and 8005. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Haney.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I was in before. I don't know if this is where I was supposed to tell you.
Yes, please.
I was in before and the judge gave me some time. I have taken my written test for my driver's license and passed it. And I have my SR 22 paid ahead and have that. I did get sick, so my test that I was supposed to take on the driving got canceled, and I have that rescheduled for this next Tuesday.
All right, how about we set this over to April 26th? That way you can get that taken care of.
Okay.
Will that work for you?
Yes.
All right, we'll just go ahead and set it over to the 26th, and I can see that you're eligible, so you're getting there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. City of Montesano versus Christopher Kenny, 2A015674 and 44. Christopher Kenny present.
There are 3 participants in the waiting room, Your Honor. Would you like me to bring them into the meeting?
Yes, please.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Whitman. City of Montesano versus Brianna Whitman, 2A0053948. So Ms. Whitman, you're here for an arraignment. Did you get the arraignment paperwork from the clerk?
Yes, I believe I emailed it back to her because I couldn't get it printed off. I think that's the questions that she sent me.
All right, I don't see that here in the file, so we're gonna have to recall your case so that we can see if we can pull that paperwork up.
Okay.
So is Christopher Kenny present? Christopher Kenny? All right. Oh, thank you very much. Perfect. There is no response to Christopher Kenny. Reviewing the file, it appears that service was attempted via mail. Notices were returned from that address. Our mandatory appearances, so in cause number 2A015674, a warrant will issue $500. All right, Miss Whitman, are you ready to go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So is your true name Brianna Lynn Whitman?
Yes, ma'am.
And your date of birth, July 23rd, 1996?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Whitman, you've been charged with a crime of complicity with reckless driving alleged to have occurred on or about January 10th, 2022, and driving the lifespan in the 3rd degree on or about January 10th, 2022. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Reckless driving is a gross misdemeanor, which means it carries a maximum penalty of 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. Driving while lifespan in the 3rd degree is a misdemeanor, so it carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and or a $1,000 fine. Do you understand the maximum possible penalties on these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Ms. Whitman, with the paperwork that you received, there was a list of rights. Did you review that list? All right, so Do you feel that you understand all of the rights that you have that were outlined in that document?
Yes,
And at this time, are you planning to hire an attorney? Are you asking for a court-appointed attorney? Are you wanting to represent yourself?
a court appointed, please.
Okay. Well, I don't have the document that you sent to the clerk in front of me, and you do have a right in the privacy of your financial information. So I'll ask you a kind of broad question. Do you qualify for any assistance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I'm going to appoint Killian Duncanson to represent you. He is going to be your attorney. He's going to be able to advise you going forward regarding this matter, make sure that any steps that are taken protect your rights. I do see there, it appears to be, I know I said that it's complicity with reckless driving, that in fact, the officers indicated to the court that the intention was just reckless driving, not complicity. Now that probably sounded a bit confusing to begin with. So
Okay.
it's the reckless driving. But your attorney can certainly explain that to you as well. So we're going to set this matter over so you have the opportunity to talk to your attorney, and that is going to be on April 26th. You need to make sure you make your court dates and stay in touch with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
You too. City of Montesano versus James Morris, 2A0101526. Is James Morris present? James Morris?
No response from the courtroom, Your Honor.
All right. The clerk will issue a new notice for that matter. All right, we've got two people that are present via Zoom. Who's the phone number that ends in 902?
Willow Jean Regal.
There's no face here.
Page 5, number 3, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, City of Montesano versus Willow Regal, 1A03780006. So Ms. Regal, it looks like this was a mitigation hearing with regard to a speeding ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so a mitigation hearing is an informal hearing to ask the court to possibly reduce the monetary penalty or grant deferred disposition. Deferred disposition continues the case on conditions that you get no new tickets and pay court costs. So what if anything would you like the court to consider with regard to mitigation of the speeding ticket?
So when the officer had pulled me over, I had just come around the corner there in the Montesano before the bridge, and I drive that road every day, and I don't speed there just because there's always been construction or water or something happening. That particular car, we had a lot of problems with it, and the dash was starting to like do weird things where the gauges were going wonky. The gas tank started going from like empty to full. It had been in and out of the shop. I actually just got it back 2 weeks ago, and there was a huge recall on it, causing that car to have some type of valve or overflow valve issues, which was causing the car's computer to just kind of fritz out because they didn't know what it was. So I'd had all of that repaired done, and we're in the process now of filing with Ford to try to get the repairs covered. So I don't honestly know if I was speeding, and because he told me I was, I told him yes, I was. I'll take my ticket. I'm headed to the shop right now, actually, on my way there. And the car's done this since October. There was actually a report at Mud Bay exit there on 101 where the car shut down in the middle of the highway with my husband in it. And the state patrol had to actually push him off, and we had to tow it back to the speedway again to the shop there called Race Car Supply. So that was the reason that I just wanted to see if I could get a reduction in it. I had no idea that I was going that fast, honestly.
Well, Ms. Regal, what we can do is, you are eligible for a deferred disposition. If you would like to do a deferred disposition, I will let you know you can only get one deferred disposition every 7 years. So it's up to you if you want to do that, because the monetary court costs are $150, so it's more than your ticket. Otherwise, I can reduce the
Yeah,
penalty to,
I would,
yes, go
sorry.
ahead.
I said that would be fine with me to do that because like I said, I don't really have a lot of tickets on my record.
All right, so we'll grant you a 6-month deferred disposition. You need to make arrangements with the court to pay the $150, and we'll review the case in 6 months. As long as you don't have any new tickets and the court costs have been paid, then the case will be dismissed.
Okay, and then is it on my record or it's not on my record?
Once a matter is dismissed, it will indicate that the case was dismissed.
Okay.
I can't tell you what your insurance company will think, but typically that is what people count as not on your record.
Okay, and that you said that cost was lower than my ticket?
No, it's $150, so it's higher than the ticket amount.
Oh, I thought my ticket amount was $190. I don't have my ticket because I sent it.
It's $139. It may have been that it was higher because there had been an FTA, but we've removed the matter from collections. So it may have been the FTA fee that had made the amount higher. The ticket itself was $139.
Honey, you can take a little bit of that.
Okay, so then I should.
I don't know. I'll use that.
I'm sorry. There's people.
Whoever's on the Galaxy A32, please mute yourself. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Rigo. I apologize.
So I'm really confused. Like I said, I've only had like one other speeding ticket since I've been back from Germany in this country. So I'm really confused as to what this whole thing is then. I guess I'm confused. So I need to just pay my ticket?
Well, you requested a mitigation hearing. So a mitigation hearing is to ask the court to reduce the monetary penalty or grant a deferred disposition. You're eligible for a deferred disposition, so I'm able to grant that if you'd like, but the ticket is $139. I'd be willing to simply reduce it to $96.
Okay, so I can do that. My insurance, it's not going to matter. It's higher than it can be anyway. So.
All right, so we'll reduce it to 96, and then you'll just need to arrange with the court to pay the $96.
Okay, and then do I call back or will you guys send me a letter since we're doing it over the phone?
I would call the court to make sure because the mail can be a bit slow these days.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'll give them a call then. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, who do we have on the Galaxy A32? Sir, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. Lonnie Miller, sorry.
All right, Lonnie Miller. All right, just 1 second, Mr. Miller. It looks like City of Montesano versus Lonnie Miller, 180622207. All right, and Mr. Miller, it looks like you're here for a mitigation hearing on an operating without insurance ticket.
Yeah, and I'm having a hard time right now getting insurance. Okay, so I lost my license due to a medical condition.
All right, so were you in front of the court before, and was this matter continued to have you get insurance?
Yes.
Okay, well, if you need some more time, we can go ahead and reset it again.
Okay, because that's what I'm waiting on. And I have to wait for I have to go back to the specialist to get another, I don't know if you can see it or not, whatever the Department of Licensing paper signed by the doctor. He signed one, and then he told me, no, don't send that one in. Wait until you go see the specialist and we know everything's good, and then send that one in. So that's what I'm waiting for. It's good.
All right, so Mr. Miller, do you think end of April or end of May?
I'm gonna probably say end of May because my appointment is on the 23rd of this month, I believe.
All right, so we're gonna continue it to May 24th.
Okay,
All right, thank you. I'll see you back then.
thank you.
Right, City of Montesano versus Edward Osterberg, 1A01355783, 35630, and 520781. Edward Osterberg present.
There's no one in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ask the clerk to issue new notice and reset those matters. City of Montesano versus David Thompson, 2A01523885. No one in the courtroom, no one present on Zoom. Please issue new notice. City of Montesano versus Brianna Jo Wells Watson, 2A014395. No one in the courtroom, no one present on Zoom. Please issue a new notice. City of Montesano versus Matthew Yakovich, 2A005396 and 69. No one in the courtroom, no one present on Zoom. Please issue a new notice. In City of Montesano versus Lorena Broughton, 1A037810. Reset that mitigation hearing. All right, is there anything else that needs to be called this afternoon?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. It's adjourned.